I love it when you come here because you do something with us that's so highly instructive. You take us effectively on a global macro tour, and in that process, we inevitably find some surprising, perhaps contrarian, at the very least counterintuitive things that you have to say. I want to start with China.
Okay, so here's what I'd say on China. Our view is that China has already had its crash per se. I think many people are worried about the debt load and that China is going to slow down. If you look at it in nominal terms, which is inflation adjusted, think about KKR. We own lots of businesses in China. We've already seen a crash. I mean, nominal GDP went from 25% to 6%. That's a massive fall off. It's rebounded about 100% to 12, and now it's starting to settle in. So many of the sell-side economists focus on real GDP, and it has slowed down. But in nominal terms, which is revenues, paying your people, generating profits for your investors, we've already seen that. So from our standpoint, it's more, we would say, just a steady growth trajectory from here, albeit at a slower pace.
In other words, the China bears are looking for a correction in all the wrong places. They're looking down the road. Instead, they should be looking in the rearview mirror. From
a growth trajectory standpoint, I would argue that. I think the debt growth in China is going at an extraordinary rate. It's approaching probably 300% of GDP by the 2018. But I would say in terms
Does that concern you?
It does. But I think when you're looking for a big growth slowdown, if you run a business, dropping from 25% to 6%, that's a pretty significant fall off that has already occurred.
And this chart helps to illustrate the point. Here's China's nominal GDP. Clearly, it peaked several years ago, and there's the crash, like you say, beginning to stabilize.
And I think that's why, recently, just in Europe, you see better trends from the global economy, and some of that's reflecting China coming off the bottom. We're not looking for a surge. We're just saying it's stabilizing at a lower level, and that with a little inflation coming back to the system, you'll see that in the revenues of companies.